It was psychotherapist Sigmund Freud who once declared that sexual repression is the chief psychological problem that we face in society. Until this very day, a large percentage of us struggle to enjoy and honor sex fully thanks to the centuries of religious dogma that have been ingrained into our psyches. Today we will explore sexual repression, an issue which is often hidden away in the depths of our shadow selves. As you'll discover, learning to explore and embrace your sexuality is vital in order to be a physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually balanced person. Why does sex make us feel so uncomfortable? Why is it that we are fine with watching characters on TV get shot, stabbed, decapitated and violently brutalized, but not fine with watching graphic scenes of sex? Why are we comfortable with buying our children video games that encourage killing sprees, but not comfortable with letting our children watch movies that have erotic BDSM scenes? Why do we expose and desensitize ourselves to one reality of life and not the other? The answer lies in the way we have been conditioned by not only our parents, the media and society, but more importantly our religious institutions which have set the foundation in our society for what is valued, what is shunned, what is viewed as right, and what is perceived as wrong. Sexual repression is the product of a mind that believes that sexuality and coitus is wrong, dirty, or immoral. And if you're like me, you've bought into these beliefs big time. Depending on what religious environment you were raised in, you may have been taught beliefs such as, sex is impure, you should not have it until you're married, if a man lies with another man as he lies with a woman, he is an abomination. Women who have sex with unmarried men are fornicators and whores. Masturbation is dirty and unnatural. God will punish the sexually impure. While some parts of the world have become more liberal, thanks Tinder, almost all of us have been subliminally and unconsciously affected by the centuries of stiff-lipped religious ethics that have gone before us. These rigid and inhumane ideologies have encouraged us to repress and shun our sexuality. Here are some quotes that perpetuate the belief that sex and sexuality is evil, wrong, and something to be controlled and corrected. When the temptation to masturbate is strong, yell, "Stop!" to those thoughts as loudly as you can in your mind. Then recite a portion of the Bible or sing a hymn. Mormon Guide to Self-Control. Many women who do not dress modestly lead young men astray and spread adultery in society, which increases earthquakes. Hojjatul Slam Kazem Sadiki, Iranian cleric. 1. When the Christian majority takes over this country, there will be no satanic churches, no more free distribution of pornography, no more talk of rights for homosexuals. Gary Potter, President of Catholics for Christian Political Action. 2. The woman and the man guilty of adultery or fornication, flog each of them with 100 stripes. Let not compassion move you in their case, in a matter prescribed by Allah, if ye believe in Allah and the last day, and let a party of the believers witness their punishment. Surah 24, 2, 3. Sex education classes in our public schools are promoting incest. Jimmy Swaggart, American pastor. 4. Neither plague, nor war, nor smallpox, nor a crowd of similar evils, have resulted more disastrously for humanity than the habit of masturbation. It is the destroying element of civilized society. The New Orleans Medical and Surgical Journal, 1855. Immoral sex is never safe sex. We are to give our body to our spouse only within the context of a permanent marriage commitment. See Genesis 2:24. Anything less than this dishonors the high purpose that God intends for our sexuality. Premarital sex is, therefore, self-centered. It seeks immediate physical pleasure at the expense of God's design for us and for our partner. Dennis McCallum and Gary Delschmidt, The Myth of Romance. These quotes represent just a tiny speck of the endless array of dogmatic and damaging beliefs circulating sex in our society. It's no wonder that so many of us are deeply sexually repressed. 9 signs that you're experiencing sexual repression. Sexual repression is one of those taboo, uncomfortable topics that we'd really rather not think about. But the truth is that sex and sexual energy is neither a good or bad thing, as much as we'd like to compartmentalize it in man-made labels. Sexual energy is essentially spiritual energy. It is the entire reason why we exist in the first place. When we learn to shed away the suffocating snakeskin of oppressive beliefs we have about sex, we learn to see our sexuality through innocent eyes. We learn to see that sexual energy is the source of all creativity, drive, and motivation in life. We also learn that when our sexual energy is smothered and controlled, it becomes twisted, distorted, and even dangerous. Look at all the priests who are charged with pedophilia and molestation of children. Thankfully, not all of us are as severely sexually repressed. The first step to healing your sexual repression is to admit it to yourself. Here, we'll explore some common signs which you may experience. Please follow the next chapter.